We would like to welcome everybody to GridIron Live today, sponsored by Lineage of Champions and GridIron Elite, and also Party and Tent Franchises.com. Today we got Craig Thigpen, which will be a correspondent with GridIron Live, and Cornell Harris with GridIron Live. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of the action that's going to be taking place this year with our high school football in the two-state area. We're going to start off with the class of 2015. Craig, what you think about
Cornell? Look, it's going to be a great year in the CSRA. From what you and I were talking about earlier, could be the best recruiting year since 1995.
Yeah, 1995.
As far as the amount of kids that have an opportunity to potentially play football at the next level. Some of the highlights that we want to talk about are some of the kids that we want to talk about in particular. Let's start with Rashad Roundtree. What do you think about him this year?
Rashad Roundtree is a top 300 kid with ESPN. I think right now nationally he's ranked like the number 3 safety in the nation, number 7 athlete in Georgia. It's going to be a good year for Lakeside. Last year they kind of struggled at times, but you know they're 3 years strong. They've been making the playoffs. He should contribute a lot of playmakers over there at Lakeside. They're really full at playmakers. We're also going to talk about B.J. Raymond and Stephon Huzar. Both of them are big-time playmakers. But Rashad Roundtree should go anywhere that he wants to be at. He got offers from Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan State, you name it. He got offers by him. Also, hopefully we'll have him on the show at a future date.
Let's also talk a little bit about, let's go down the road a little bit to Augusta Christian and Clemson University commit Zach Gwelly.
Yeah, Zach Giella, man, he's a great offensive line talent. I think right now he's dealing with some hip issues like we talked about earlier. He should come on strong. He's already signed with them. He's going to be an early entry guy. He'll go in January and start working out with the team. But I see him probably, if he doesn't get action his freshman year, he'll definitely be starting by the sophomore season. But he's a great talent.
Talk a little bit about, let's go down to Aquinas, defending Class A state champions from last year, and one of their star players, if not the star player from last year's team, Reuben Garnett. How's he looking this year? 3-star recruit already. How's he looking this year, and what kind of year should we expect from him?
Should be looking to add on offers. We talked to him. They had a scrimmage against Evans on Friday, which will happen actually Monday at 4:30. It had to be rescheduled due to the thunderstorm. But he should have a big year. I think pound for pound, maybe one of the better athletes in the area at any position. He should be going pretty much wherever. I mean, he has 16 offers presently at this time, but a very high talent coming out of the area. Like we said, I mean, 2015 class is loaded.
Let's talk a little bit about, let's go to Evans, Madeline Marshall. How you feel about him this year?
Man, I was looking forward to, I hate that the thunderstorm kind of interrupted that scheduled scrimmage. That was going to be a good little game where we was going to actually get to see some of the high-profile talent like Taz Lindsay, Reuben Garnett, and Madeline Marshall. Madeline Marshall can play a whole lot of positions. He can play as a DB. He's very talented. He can be used as a slot. I mean, he's just a talented guy. Also, you know, it's in his gene pool with his uncle and his dad being professional athletes.
What about Napoleon Williams and Nash Bennett?
Napoleon Williams and Nash Bennett are some guys that are going to contribute high. They're over there at Aquinas. Also, Taz Lindsay, which is wide receiver. We'll get into the quarterback. He's part of the 2016 class, but he's probably going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the area. But Napoleon holds it down on the defense and offensive line, and Nash Bennett is going to be a great DB asset. He actually strong offer coming up from Furman, they're just going to be a great pair to pair with Reuben Garnett and Taz Lindsay and over there at
sounds to me like Lakeside and Aquinas have quite a few players that are on the radar from the major schools.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give it hats off to their coaching staff. They have actually put their kids out there. Keith Walton at Augusta Christian also does a great job putting his kids out there for them to get exposed. it's just going to be a good year for those three programs. It's some other programs that's going to have some good years too, but those three programs are going to have a great year this year.
You were talking about Keith Walton over at Augusta Christian. He got a couple of players, one that played last year, Calvin Taylor, and also a new player, a transfer from Westside, James Overstreet.
Man,
how do you feel about those guys?
We also do GridIron Live. You was there at our camp. Man, I'm telling you, James Overstreet is an underrated corner, lockdown corner, very physical. I know he was at Westside last year. He played out of position. He played safety, so you really didn't get to see him do a lot of one-on-one stuff, but he's a great corner.
Great ball skills.
Yeah, great ball skills. Calvin Taylor was a basketball player, came over from Blackville probably about 3 years ago. I mean, high motor kid. Keith and them have done a great job with him, making him a better DN. They're really, to tell you the truth,
he's a big boy too.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Augusta Christian has really gotten their hands on some D linemen, so O linemen, and done great jobs with them guys.
It's great. Let's talk a little bit about, we were talking about Westside losing one. How about the receiver, Quentin Phillips?
Quentin Phillips is, like you were saying about James Overstreet, Quentin Phillips has great ball skills, very athletic, was a basketball player. Now he's totally committed to being a great football player. Has about 3 offers, one coming from Morgan State, I think Middle Tennessee State, and also App State are looking at him. So
great.
Should be a great year. He's going to be a good leader. He was actually a great playmaker for Westside a year ago.
What do you think about Georgia Tech commit A.J. Gray from Washington County?
Man, you know what? I really didn't get a chance to see A.J. until I seen him in the Dome after the Aquinas Championship game, but he played great. A.J. He's a great athlete. He can play quarterback. I really think he could play quarterback at Georgia Tech, even though they're recruiting him as
That's what they like there. They like athletes at Georgia Tech, and then they'll mold them into the system.
Yeah.
We've seen Paul Johnson do that quite a few times with guys that are athletic.
Oh, yeah.
They can do different things with. From what I understand on A.J. Gray, he's really a baller. He's a great player.
Man, great basketball talent. Actually played for the Southern Kings in our area at once upon a time AAU program. But A.J. is a great baller. And also, he's going to be a good safety. Makes good decisions. Plays. He can cover well. Just a very good safety. Should pan out good for Georgia Tech. May get an opportunity to start his freshman year. It's going to be a little shake-up down there in Atlanta.
How about his teammate Logan Hunt?
Tech, Logan Hunt is
what's the chances of Tech getting both?
Yeah, well, I don't know about Logan Hunt. It was through the lines that he actually committed to Georgia Southern last week.
Right.
But he actually was on a visit down at Georgia Tech last year. But Logan Hunt is just a beast of an athlete, very athletic DN. He has a great motor on him and a very good kid.
Great. You can't have a list without talking about Burke County.
Oh yeah.
And they've got a trio that could lead them back to a state championship potentially. Talk about Donquell Young, Barkey Williams, and William Osborne.
All 3 of them are very talented. They're probably going to be moving them around a lot. Burke County is a young team. Really, those 3 guys are actually going to have to lead that team more. Donquell Gator Green, the guy that actually is up at Marshall now, he's actually doing great at Marshall. May start at Marshall, getting a lot of stuff told about him on ESPN and stuff, great things. But Burke County is, I wouldn't say they're in a rebuilding stage, but I would say retooling stage. So Donquell Young and also Barkey Williams and Osborne should do a great help with them this year.
Let me ask you this. Now, we know about the top talent. Everybody knows about the 3, 4, 5-star talent in the CSRA. Is there a couple of players that maybe you're keeping an eye on that are out there that could come out and really could have a big year and get on some radars? I know that's not prevalent as much as it used to be as far as kids coming on late and getting big-time offers, but is there maybe a kid or 2 that you're keeping an eye on that's out there?
We're going to get out this week and actually go to some camps and try to look at more athletes, but that class of 2016 is a sleeper class. I don't believe that pound for pound from number 1 to down to the lowest that they're as deep as the 2015 class, but they're no slowpoke compared to the classes that have come out of the area. That 2016 class has Lynn Welch, which is a great quarterback over at Aquinas, wide receiver Justin Gibbs, which is a good wide receiver that's getting great looks. Georgia has done many write-ups about this guy already. And then we got some other guys that's at some other schools.
Yeah, Nick Patterson at Lakeside.
Over there at Lakeside, who's a great quarterback. He's going to have a lot of weapons this year to actually throw to. So, you know, I mean, it's going to be good. That 2016 class is going to be good, but I kind of want to get out there a little bit more. Actually, Cameron Brown over at Midland Valley and also their quarterback, Carr, they're going to be a great duo over there this year. Right off the top of my head, but we're going to get more into that on the next show and actually talk about that 2016 class.
Going back to the 2015 class, though, I think something you've been following football and the CSRA for 15, 20 years. You've been real close to it. And to say that this class in 2015 is similar to a class like in 95, and you feel like it may be even better, that produced 3 players that went on to play in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, the class is just, I mean, really, to be honest with you, the kids and some of the coaches has did great jobs as in not just getting them locally known, but getting them nationally known. So, you know, that comes a lot. And then once these other guys start talking about you and your name is out there, it's just easy for you to get recruited.
That's right.
So a lot of college coaches have really come to the area, not by the way of just coming through, because that's part of the recruitment standpoint, but they're actually sitting down and talking to these coaches and talking to these kids. They're actually trying to get these kids recruited and coming to their school. It's going to be a lot of kids and a lot of college coaches going to high school games in our areas, and a lot of kids going to college games on business in our area.
And the showcase camps as well. I'm seeing a lot of, we were talking about this the other day, you're seeing a lot more coaches getting their kids more involved in these camps, like the one the GridIron Elite just had, where there was, you know, talent, and Bulldog Illustrated was out there, and some other publications, and, you know, giving them an opportunity to get noticed, and that's really going to help them going forward. You know, getting out there and getting involved with the camps if you do have a kid that's very talented, and that's what we hope to do at GridIron Elite, is bring some attention to the kids of the CSRA. We all know about the kids in Atlanta and some of the other areas of Georgia, but if you can, and what we'll try to do is promote these kids and get them out there and give them an opportunity to be seen. If they're a talent, they can play and contribute at some of these big programs. And the small programs.
That's what it's all about. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about getting the kid exposure through exposing them so these guys can actually get them. I mean, the saying for GridIron Elite is elite exposure for the CSRA, and that's what it's all about. So, I mean, in our upcoming show next week, what we're going to talk about is the Elite 21, which is the top players in the area. We're going to rank them from 1 to 21. We're actually going to also talk about our GridIron Elite power rankings. Just talking about each school, not based on wins and losses, but what they can actually do in their classification, who has the best situation to make it there in the Georgia Dome, because we want to see more teams in our area in the Georgia Dome. Also, what we're going to do is August the 22nd will be our first game of the week, which would be Lakeside versus North Augusta over in North Augusta at 7:30. High impact. You know what? That's what I did talk about. My alma mater, North Augusta.
I knew he couldn't. I knew he had to at least throw North Augusta in at least once.
You know what? Trill Reese is a great quarterback. Chandler Harrison should be a great addition at wide receiver. They got Victor Johnson, which is a DN, and he's going to be real great this year. I mean, he has a motor, already has 6 offers. I mean, how could I forget about North Augusta?
Anything else you want to say about North Augusta?
I mean, that's it.
Are you sure?
That's it. I was saving them to be
I mean, you know, this man loves North Augusta, let me tell you. So, yeah, that sounds great. We're looking forward to next week's show, and it sounds good. Well, again, we'll thank the sponsors. PartyIntentFranchises.com, Lineage of Champions, and GridIron Elite. We'll see you next week.
And also, like we do every week, we invite everybody out. At the end of the year, we will have Lineage of Champions All-Star Bowl week coming to you, coming soon. We out.